Hey guys, Super Slayer here, and welcoming you to a double review, actually, of two Nintendo 3DS games that I finished not too long ago. The first being Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Uh, I bought this game on a whim. I didn't really have a lot of money at the time, and I was like, I kind of want a new game. What should I get? And I saw this on the eShop, and I was like, why not? I like the series, so why not get it? And I thoroughly enjoyed it. The story is pretty much par for the course with the Ace Attorney games. Um, the gameplay, same. It's all really sort of it's all pretty much par for the course for this series. The Cyclops make a return from, I believe they were introduced in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Um, and they're actually fun to play around with, though they make a very small return. Uh, the the bracelet from Apollo Justice also makes a return. That, as per usual, very fun. We of course get a new character called Athena Sykes, who is the new defense attorney at the Wright and Co. Anything offices, Wright Anything Agency. I don't remember what. I think it's Wright Anything Agency, and and she's fun. She's a fun character. Cool backstory, and yeah, really cool design as well. And with her comes a new mechanic called the Mood Matrix, where you essentially go through a witness's testimony and you see what they're feeling during certain sentences, and if the feeling does not match the sentence, then you have to basically question them about it. Of course, evidence makes a return. It's all back. That's pretty much all you need to say is it's all back and it's all great. Some of the cases are pretty tricky, and the final case in particular was amazing. I think, yeah, that was probably my favorite case in the whole game. Mostly because there wasn't as much investigating. I don't like. I like I like the investigation portions, but not nearly as much as the courtroom portions. So I'm actually like every time I play the game, I'm like, give me a courtroom portion. Come on, I want to go to the courtroom. And and yeah, I really enjoy the Ace Attorney games, and this is no different. This game is fantastic. Ugh, excuse me. So yeah, like pretty much yeah. On this game, I'm gonna wait with spoilers until after I've sort of gone over the basics of both games. So I'm not gonna spoil anything until about halfway through the video, I think. So pretty much, if you have a 3DS, I definitely recommend that you get this game because it's it's definitely one of those games that I feel has all the humor and the seriousness of the series, and yet it somehow improves upon a lot of things. And the graphics look really nice. All the environments are beautiful and the characters look fantastic. It's all really, really nice. And yeah, if you're a fan of the series, you've probably already played this. And if you're not a fan of the series, then you've probably not played this. I recommend anyone who owns a 3DS to get this game and play through it, because it is really fun. Now, the other game I'm going to be playing through is playing through. Yeah, I'm going to be playing through the whole game on this video. No. I'm going to be reviewing Kingdom Hearts 3D, or Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Another 3DS title, and I got this near launch of the game, and I just finished it recently. That mainly stems from the fact that I'm actually a little bit disappointed with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like the game. I think it's a really fun Kingdom Hearts game. There's just I have a few big problems with it, and I'll get to those mainly in the spoiler section, but I guess the main problem I can discuss without spoiling anything is the drop mechanic. I can't stand that. I can't stand the fact that you have to have, like, if you don't want to drop every time that the meter runs out, you have to have in your inventory taking up, or in your command deck, taking up a spot that you could use for attacks or healing abilities. You have to have an item called Drop Me Not, which basically replenishes the drop gauge. It's so annoying because all I want to do is finish a world, and the drop gauge isn't long enough. It doesn't last long enough, even with a drop decelerator, to actually allow you to finish a single world. It's so, like, it's a cool mechanic that you can drop between characters whenever you want, but it's implemented so poorly in that it's timed. Like, I mean, yeah, it didn't bother me too much that I had to use drop me nots when I was about to drop. That didn't bother me too much. What bothered me was I had to have a slot in my command deck taken up by this item, which I could have used, like, I could have used it for something way better. It's really stupid that the designers of this game decided to say, hey, let's put everyone on a timer while they're playing the game. And if they don't finish within the timer, then they drop to the other character. Seriously, just give us the choice. Just say, there's a drop button in the menu. When you want to, or when you hit a wall, go over to the other character. Maybe you'll be able to solve your problems with that character, you know? Having puzzles that require you to solve both ends is a really cool, like, that's a really cool idea. It's just executed so poorly with having timed drops. I'm very disappointed with that. It was very, very poorly designed. The story, again, par for the course. It's Kingdom Hearts. It's good. A few confusing moments here and there, which, again, par for the course, but it's sort of like, mainly sort of near the end of the game, I got a bit confused. I'll elaborate a little bit on that in the spoiler section of this review, but yeah, it's like, not quite sure what's going on, but yeah, the game really, it hits a high note here and there, but I'd say that the standout things in this game would be the Dream Eaters, the sort of companion stream eaters, the companion Dream Eaters. They are really fun, and the story, I guess. I mean, the combat is really fun, you know, but if I had a choice between playing Kingdom Hearts 3D and Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, I would play 358 over 2 days any day of the week, because that game is way better in design. A mechanic I haven't talked about yet, the flow motion. The flow motion is actually quite fun and handy when you need to get to places really fast, but it can also be really annoying. I found often that I was just trying to dash, and I would dash into a wall and go into flow motion. It would slow me down, and it can be a liability in the middle of combat, especially in the middle of a boss fight. I'll elaborate on that in the spoiler section once again. There was a moment that really pissed me off with the flow motion thing. I'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, if you are a fan of the series and you have a 3DS, you've already played this game, so I can't tell you not to play it or to play it. Honestly, as a fan of the Kingdom Hearts series, I can't say don't play this game, because I have to, I gotta say, if you really want to, if you're a real fan of this series, if you really want the entire story, play through this game just for the story, because it will explain a lot of things. It does explain a buttload of things, to put it gently. But it's also really confusing, so you really, like, take it with a grain of salt, I'd say. And just remember to not let the drop mechanics or the occasional flow motion annoyance get to you, because the game is good. It just has a few quirks that really bug me. Okay, I think from here on in I'd better go into spoiler territory. So from this point in the video, there's going to be major spoilers. So be forewarned. I'll start with Kingdom Hearts since I have it up. So just final warning. If you don't want Kingdom Hearts 3D or Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destiny spoiled, do not watch the rest of this video. Otherwise, feel free to continue. So, Kingdom Hearts 3D has its problems. And I think the biggest moment that really pissed me off was, it was in the final fights. I was fighting young Xehanort, and he's a tough son of a bitch. So I apologize for the crude language, but he is tough. I found him to be pretty damn hard, but I might have been a bit underleveled. I think I was like level 35 or 36 or something. I don't remember. But essentially, what happened was, I had been like, I got to the point where you have to attack the clock in the middle of the room, and there's like clone Xehanorts coming after you. I was dashing away from them, and the normal dash will not suffice. If you get to that point, stop at the save point. Go back to Traverse Town, go to the Flick Rush tournaments, and get, I think it was 440 medals from the Flick Rush thing. Get that, because then you can get what's called, I think it was Dark Roll or something like that, that is going to save your ass in the fight against Xehanort. I guarantee it. But I was dashing, and one of the things that happened was I was just dashing in a circle around the sort of middle of the room, and I accidentally went a bit too far out of the circle I was in, and I hit the wall, went into flow motion, and like like the idiot I am, I stopped, dropped to the ground, and before I could dash away, one of the clone Xehanorts came up to me, bashed me to death. I was so close to winning in that fight, and I just died because of that. And, you know, it was so annoying. It was really annoying. I really hated that fight. But I got through it. That must probably be the fight I had the most trouble with in the entire game. The other fights I had trouble with the second form of Ansem. I thought that was pretty tough. Again, I was probably underleveled for that, but I didn't care. So, yeah, the second form of Ansem was annoying. And then, what was it? It was, yeah, young Xehanort. Those two fights were annoying as hell. But yeah, aside from that, not too much, really. The Xemnas fight when you're playing as Sora in the final world was fairly easy, actually. Once you got the pattern down, like, really all you had to do was, when he came up to you, just block and then hit him. Block, hit him, block, hit him. And that's pretty much all you had to do in that fight. My favorite fight in the game was the first form of Ansem when you're playing as Riku, because it's pretty much the exact same, as when you're fighting Ansem for the second time in the final battles of Kingdom Hearts 1. It even has like pretty much the exact music, like pretty much just a little remixed, but it is so good. It's such a fun fight because it's such like it sort of calls back to like that fun fight and those like awesome fights. All of that, like it was so much fun. You might have guessed already, but I love Kingdom Hearts 1. I really like the fights there and everything. But yeah, like the flow motion really annoyed me at times and really helped me at times. You know, it was sort of a mixed bag, to be fair. Um, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3D. In general, I played it only for the story. I played it not because of the gameplay. After a while, the gameplay just no. After a while, it just started annoying me, and especially that fucking drop mechanic. I hate the drop mechanic. Like, I don't mind if they bring flow motion into more of the sort of series. I don't mind. I feel they need to sort of contain it a little bit more. It was a bit too it was a bit too much. It was like shoved in your face on top of all the other stuff in the game. So yeah, I didn't. I liked it, but it could have been done way better. So anyway, that's pretty much my review of Kingdom Hearts 3D. If you enjoy the series, get the game for the story because that's mainly what you're gonna need. If you enjoy, if you don't enjoy the series, do not get this game. You will not enjoy it. I guarantee it. You will not enjoy this game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my Kingdom Hearts 3D review. If you want to watch my Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney spoilers, feel free, because that's what we're moving on to. So, a lot happened in this game that surprised me quite a bit. For one, I think one of the things that surprised me the most is that over the course of the game, you play as Phoenix Wright a total of twice. You play as him for a bit in the first case, and then you play as Phoenix Wright in the final case. And that's about it. The other three cases in the game are Apollo Justice and Athena Sykes. And so that's sort of why I'm a bit confused as to why they still call it Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. They could have just called this game Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. So, like, I mean, I know a lot of people do call it that, and I know that, some people just say, yeah, it's just Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, but it's still got that Phoenix Wright in the title. Phoenix Wright is still, advertised as the main character, and I mean, he still is. He's still the sort of driving force of the series. Don't get me wrong, he's still one of my favorite characters in video games. But it just seemed like they sort of shoved him in there just to get fans back after Apollo Justice, because it seemed to me that, like, I personally really enjoyed Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I thought the character of Apollo was really good, and I thought the cases were all fun. And I felt that with this game, like, I love this game. I think it's so good, but I still thought that having Phoenix Wright return as an attorney, I felt it was just a little bit shoehorned in, to be fair. I felt they could have done a little more with it, to have him over at least 3 cases of the game, you know? I mean, he appears, don't get me wrong, he appears in every case, but he is not, he's pretty much more of a side character in the sort of middle 3 cases, and less a main character. Now, Apollo Justice goes through a lot in this game. He loses, like, as a character, he loses something really, like, he loses something that I could not imagine losing. And I felt like there's basically a point in the final case where he accuses Athena, he essentially accuses Athena of being his best friend's killer. And, Phoenix didn't understand it, Athena didn't understand it, but I sort of did. Because the way he explained it was he was accusing her because he needed to know he could trust her. He needed to get closure on this. He needed to know who actually did kill his best friend. And if I was in that situation, I probably would have done the same thing. And I couldn't imagine going through that. And I feel that Apollo is really one of my favorite characters in this series. If I had to pick my top 3 now out of or top 5, sorry, out of the entire series. I don't know why I said top 3. If I had to pick my top 5 out of the entire series in no particular order, it would be Phoenix Wright, Apollo Justice, Clavier Gavin, probably Miles Edgeworth, and then Simon Blackwell. Simon Blackwell is such a good character in this game. He is basically the rival prosecutor you will be facing throughout the entire game, and he is so cool. He's pretty much the epitome of badassery. He is just an awesome character in general. Like, I'm not saying that because he's, a prisoner at the beginning of the game or anything like that. I'm saying that because of 3 things. Number 1, the way he looks. He looks fucking cool. Number 2, his theme. His freaking theme song is so awesome. It's one of those things that when he starts winning in a case, I'm like, I don't care. I get to listen to this song now. I didn't even care I was losing in the case. I was just like, yeah, awesome song, man. And I guess the third would be his sort of story arc, his entire backstory and everything, because he's a really, he seems like this hardened criminal, this hardened killer, but he's actually just a pretty nice guy. And yeah, that's I really love this game, and I really love the characters, the environments, the story, and the graphics and everything. It was all really good. Yeah, I can't think of anything that annoyed me really, or I mean, the thing is, throughout the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 3D, for instance, I got annoyed at the drop gauge and by the flow motion occasionally, and just by random stuff that happened. Whereas in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, this really long name. In this game, I did not feel like that. There was no moment that just pissed me off or got me to just say, no, I'm done, I'm not playing this anymore. There was no moments like that. There were no moments where I got so pissed off I just wanted to throw the game at the wall. Or pissed off in general. I was pretty much happy throughout the entire experience, and it was one of the more satisfying experiences I've had on the 3DS. Also, the twist in the final case. That is something I'm not going to spoil. I'm going to have you find that out for yourselves. Because that was awesome. That was really, really well done. That moment was just perfect. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys stick around on this channel for a while longer while I get myself back on track with Let's Playing. I don't think there will be a schedule ever again. I don't really think so. But thanks for watching. Either way, I'll see you guys either on my Twitch page for my streams, on my Twitter for my updates, or next year for more Let's Plays. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great end of the year, and I'll see you guys next time.